call your hits. Going live in 3. We start on 3 this time. 2, 1. Welcome back, everyone, to the Port City Podcast. The perfect podcast for literally anyone, whether you're new to Airsoft, whether you're old to Airsoft.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't even know what Airsoft is. Maybe you just clicked on this video.
Maybe you're middle-aged to Airsoft.
Yeah. No, but we over here at the Port City Podcast try to cover topics that can range from new to experienced players, just trying to bring some knowledge to the community and to make it accessible for people who are interested in trying it out.
Yeah.
We are here today with episode 39 of the Port City Podcast. Quite a hot topic.
And honestly, in that vein of different airsofters, different generations of airsofters, this one I feel like does kind of deal with everybody.
Everyone.
At every level, however long you've been playing, you're going to deal with this.
Yeah. Tell them what it is.
Airsoft cheaters, man. Listen, they're everywhere, and sometimes they're real, sometimes they're fake.
Yeah.
How do you deal with them is what we're talking about today. How do you deal with airsoft cheaters?
I mean, you see all the time on YouTube from certain YouTube content creators in the airsoft community that really highlight airsoft cheaters.
I'm trying to think, punching Bronco,
something like that. Yeah, something like that. No, but you guys probably have seen your fair share of airsoft cheater gets, taught a lesson. We're here today to kind of talk about, if you are on the field and you're dealing with a cheater, how can you properly handle the situation?
Yeah.
We're going to be sharing some insights, some experiences of our own, and just general best practices for dealing with cheaters. It's not always what it looks like on YouTube. In fact, I would say YouTube has, like, those content creators make some of the most polarizing videos, because it's just not what it's like on the field. Even when you have a legitimate cheater, it's not usually how it appears to be.
Yeah. And
we're really big on casting airsoft in a good light. We don't want to draw attention to things and blow them out of proportion when they could be handled much more efficiently. And so that's kind of what we're doing. We're hoping that this is kind of an educational piece that will help prepare people to deal with those scenarios.
Yeah. It's not all the time that we run into this. But it is frequent enough to be something that is a common part of airsoft.
I would say it's not common that you encounter a cheater.
Someone who is getting hit, knows it, and doesn't call it.
But
that doesn't happen every time.
You will not encounter cheaters frequently, but you will encounter people not calling their hits.
Yeah.
And I know for someone who doesn't play airsoft, that might be a little confusing.
Yeah, there's a big difference between cheating and just not knowing, not calling. And so there's a lot that goes into it as far as the rules go, right? We can kind of break it down. So in airsoft, you get hit one time by a BB anywhere on your person, unless it's, which even this is depending on the field, unless it hits your blaster, then it doesn't count.
Yep.
On some fields, blaster hits do count, and you have to just know, hopefully the admin is doing a good job of making the rules well known and very clear.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not, and sometimes you get yelled at for not knowing something, and you just have to be chill about it. Hey, you're absolutely right. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'll do better next time. Yeah, my apologies.
The best thing to do is to pay attention during the briefing, understand the rules, and be courteous and be patient with people. It is a very fun hobby. It is so fun. I mean, it is some of the most fun that you can have
without
breaking any laws. Airsoft is really fun, and the community is, for the most part, I'd say about 80 to 90% just full of great people.
Solid.
Every now and then you
peeps.
get one or two people that are just the worst.
Toxic. Yeah.
But, you know, everyone has their problems, and as any sort of community, you just have to learn to be patient and understand people and understand how to navigate those situations.
Yeah.
I think starting off, you need to consider who the player is, right?
Right.
If someone, and there's a bunch of different ways that someone could cheat, right? The most common of which being not calling your hits.
Yeah.
That's really common in Airsoft, but not on purpose. I know some of the people that we play with, I trust fully that they would call their hits. And every now and then, if I put a few shots, towards them and I see them hit them and bounce off and they don't feel it, I'll just let them know after, like, hey, by the way, I was hitting you. You may need to like check your gear and like, reevaluate kind of what's going on. But, yeah, you can not call your hits, leaving the play zone. I've seen people try to sneak outside the field boundary to get around. You can, like revive rules when there's medics, not counting for long enough. Just generally any sort of way that is breaking the rules set in place by the admin or the people orchestrating the event or the field day, to give yourself an advantage would be considered cheating.
Yeah.
And
I think that's what it is, right? Is Airsoft is an honor sport. We're all on relatively equal playing field, right? Everyone's got a blaster. Yeah, some people have grenades and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, we're all on equal playing field. If you get hit once, you're out. That's it, right?
Sure.
The boundaries of the map are the boundaries of the map. The rules are the rules. And everyone, for the most part, is following those. And when you get someone who actively and intentionally is not following them, it's like you said, it's that advantage, right? Like it's just not,
you're making the playing field unbalanced.
Yeah. And the point of Airsoft is to have fun. And when you're the only one having fun,
Yeah, it is really, honestly, keeping fun at the heart of things. Helps you, like, it's kind of like, not just when it comes to the rules, but also like general courtesy and sportsmanship. Like if you've got a team pinned in spawn, you should back off. Back off for a little bit. Let them get out. If you want it to be fun, you need to give them the opportunity to make it a challenge. If you're feeling, wow, these teams are unbalanced, pull all the way back. Let them get ground. Make it hard on yourself, because that's the challenge is what's fun. Like, and it's, it's cool every now and then to just really feel like, wow, we did great. But like,
and sometimes that just happens, right? Like if you've got an objective mode where it's like, you got to grab this thing and take it all the way there, and you just like come right out of spawn. They can't do anything. BBs aren't touching you, and you just grab the thing, book it straight to the end zone, and that's it. Game lasts 2 minutes. Sometimes that does happen.
Yeah.
But that's usually still pretty fun. Like even if it's fast paced, it's like, oh man, that was a good game. Let's just run it again.
People get really wrapped up in the idea of winning.
Yeah. And I get it, but still.
What are you winning, though?
What are you winning? There's no prizes or anything, right? We all paid however much money to get here. No one's walking away with anything more than they came here with.
You're playing for the experience.
Exactly.
Yeah. And keeping the experience challenging and fun is really a reward in and of itself. I think when it comes to that stuff, with breaking the rules, evaluate. Let's say you encounter someone who you suspect a cheater. Evaluate, what are they doing that's breaking the rules? Do they know that they're breaking the rules? And how new are they? Because if you get out there and an Airsoft veteran who's been playing for years is just, ignoring certain rules about the mission objective, it's pretty evident that they didn't pay attention during the briefing.
Yeah.
And that is a problem because it's frustrating to have to waste a game on someone who is not paying attention. But they're not doing it on purpose per se. I think it's just, measuring where you think they're at. If they're a new player, they might simply not know just because no one told them. So do your best to, in any situation, educate. If you know that this person is breaking a rule, don't yell at them. Don't start screaming. Don't be like, ref, this person needs to get banned.
Right.
Approach them. Say, hey, man, by the way, you're doing this thing. That's not allowed. You can't do that. And then reiterate, I just wanted to tell you, so that you were aware.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone told you.
I'd rather, like, you're here, man. I'd rather you not get in trouble by the ref or something. Like, just letting you know this is a rule that they have.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I think, start off, give them the benefit of the doubt, assume that assume ignorance before malice, and if it is a problem, communicate that to them respectfully. Keeping tempers under control, very important. It's not always easy. Yeah. We are guilty of being in situations where it's just so frustrating, and it's hard to keep your cool in those scenarios when it's just all day. Mm-hmm. And we get it, but it doesn't make it any better. Yeah. You're not going to fix it.
But starting a fight or something about it, it really does not help, right?
Yeah.
You get into an argument with someone and they're already saying that they didn't do this thing, right?
Sure.
And if you just keep getting angry and keep putting it back on them, they're just going to keep denying it. It's not serving anyone, right?
Yeah.
So you say, hey man, I was hitting you. I don't know if you felt it or you were doing this and just letting you know the rule. If they come back and they're like, well, blah, 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 all right, well, hey man, I was just letting you know, I'll let the ref deal with it.
I think when it comes to the getting hit thing, most of the time, if it is a cheater, it's more of an ego thing.
Yeah.
It's
people don't like walking back to respawn.
Yeah, they don't I've literally had people tell me, there's no way you hit me. It's not possible. And to me that communicates you think you are above everyone else.
Yeah.
Because everyone gets hit. You can play it as you can be an amazing player. You're going to get hit at some point.
Yeah.
You're going to get out at some point. It just happens. It's part of the game. Nobody, even people with over, 2.0 KD ratios in COD still die.
Yes, they still die.
It still happens. So I think, if you do feel like it's an ego thing and this person is intentionally causing a problem, I think that's kind of the point at which where it's a consistent issue. You need to get the admin or the refs or whoever's in charge involved.
Yeah.
You as the player are not really holding any power over other players.
The admin has the ability to, at the very least, kick them out. Yeah. So.
And you hate to see that. I don't like to see people get removed from an airsoft community, but I would rather the one be kicked out than have 10 people quit because they don't enjoy playing
right
anymore.
And that's going back to the whole honor sport thing, right? Is unlike paintball, which I know paintball has its own things, but unlike paintball, when you get hit, there's not a visual indicator that you got hit, right? In paintball, the paintball explodes on you usually.
It makes it a little harder to cheat.
Yeah, it makes it harder to cheat. So
you can still do it, but it's much more difficult.
But in airsoft, unless the ref is looking at you and sees the BB impact you and you not call it, there's nothing that they can really do to identify that they got hit, right? So when someone is cheating or something in that way, it is like this person can't be trusted to follow the rules kind of thing. Right. So I do understand at a certain point of, hey man, you just you can't play with us anymore. You
gotta go.
Right?
Yeah.
When you're a kid and you're playing on the playground and there's another kid that comes around and he's not following the rules, no one else is having fun playing with him, and everyone's just getting upset. Hey man, you can't play with us anymore.
Yeah.
No one wants to play with you.
And how we were saying, there's not a lot that you as the player can do as an authority over that cheater. That's going to be up to the refs to manage that whole interaction. Right. However, there are some things you can do.
There's some
things you can do.
There's some things you can do.
The main one,
the most fun one.
Explain the concept of this to them. The idea of just how to deal with a cheater. The most common way.
Someone's not calling their hits. If you've ever been hit by a BB, it doesn't feel great, even if you are good at not showing it, right?
Yeah.
If you hit someone,
close up.
Yeah. If you hit someone 20 times in the same spot,
it's rough.
Eventually, they're going to get tired of being hit in that same spot over and over again, and they're just going to give up, right? So keep shooting them, right? Because the rules of Airsoft are you shoot somebody until you see them put their hand up or you hear them say hit.
Yeah.
You see them stand up and start walking back to respawn. You hear hit and you see the hand go up. Stop shooting, right? You're done. They're dead. Stop shooting.
If you shoot them after they call it, you're at fault.
You're at fault. If you shoot them and they don't call it,
you just keep laying.
Just keep going.
Just keep going. Laying on them.
As long as they'll let you, keep going.
They cannot fault you for. I've had a situation where I've had the RPK and someone was not calling their hit, and basically their like butt was sticking out from behind cover, and I saw them flinch 1 or 2 times from the impact. So I was like, you know what? All right. So I flanked around further to the right side to where their whole butt was exposed.
Yeah.
And then I just until I saw that hand go up, and they called it after that. You know,
you're gonna call it after that.
It's just one of those things where it's like, listen, man, if you're not gonna call it, I'm just gonna keep blasting you. It's that simple. You're gonna call this at some point, and I'll be here waiting.
I have more ammo than you have patience for getting hit. Yeah.
Don't overshoot people.
Once that cheater puts his hand up, stop shooting them.
It's not overshooting unless you're hitting them after they've called it.
Yeah.
Now, you can shoot them 30 times.
The amount of times that I've shot someone like that wasn't calling their hits and just laid into them, and then they get up and complain about you overshooting them. And I go, call the first one.
Yeah.
Just call the first one.
Just call the first one.
Call the first one. And then I don't have to shoot you 100 times.
Yeah.
Call the first one.
People who are doing it on purpose are going to have bad attitudes.
Yeah.
Always.
And that's how you know that it's on purpose.
Yeah. Now, if it's genuinely on accident, like I have had times where people have gotten like angry at me, like furious at me on the field, being like, you need to call your hits. Listen, man, you just didn't hit me. And sometimes that's just how it is. And I've had people who will like overshoot on purpose because they're mad at me. That's not cool. I'm not going to just overshoot at you because I'm mad. Like, oh, sorry, I didn't see that your hand's up. I'm not going to do that on purpose.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes back to giving people the benefit of the doubt. It's like, assume that they're ignorant to the situation first. But once you've confirmed this guy's a cheater, no one likes a cheater. If you make it known to the players what's going on, that guy's not going to be or feel welcomed.
Yeah.
Because just the airsoft community in general does not stand for that.
Yeah. I think other than just either talking to the refs, shoot until you see the hand.
Yeah.
I mean, there really isn't much else to do if conversation has been had with this individual and they're still doing, foolishness and, it's persisting. At a certain point, all you can do is just kind of ignore it. I mean, I think this is where we see a lot of like the fights and stuff is in there isn't anything else that another player can do about this, and the admin isn't doing anything about it. So all I can do is fight this person, yell at them, tell them they're whatever.
Yeah.
That's all I have the power to do within me, right? But it's not going to solve anything. If anything, it's going to bring down the mood of the day.
Yeah.
It's going to cause you probably, maybe the other person, to get kicked out. No guarantee on that. But at the very least, whoever is making the most noise is probably going to be the one that gets kicked out.
Yeah. And, we've had scenarios that we've witnessed where a group of cheaters we've had players that have consistent issues, right? Mm-hmm. We've seen that at our home field. We've had days where those people show up and literally 20 people all after like 2 games go, I'm not really having fun today, man. This, basically just telling the refs, hey, I think I'm done today. But then coming up to us and be like, look, man, I'm not going to play if they're here. Like, it's just not worth it. And those people are wasting their money, and it's killing the vibe. It's damaging the community.
Yeah.
It's just not good. I think, think of it like if you've ever played Counter-Strike or really honestly like Call of Duty, anything like that. and you encounter a hacker, there's just nothing you can do other than report them and just hope that the proper authorities deal with the situation.
Find another lobby.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the one downside, or the one additional downside to real life Airsoft as opposed to video games, is in Call of Duty, you just jump into another lobby.
Yeah.
In real life, you got to deal with that cheater all day.
In person.
In person.
I will say, if you go to an Airsoft field that is a good field, like a nice field that's well run and well maintained, that staff is going to take it seriously.
Yeah.
We have seen plenty of times where staff members do not take it seriously, and those fields greatly suffer and don't grow the community. Like they don't get new players because new players are super discouraged by it. But yeah, I think ignoring them is really just the best option.
Yeah. Don't let them stop your fun, right?
Yeah.
Don't let them keep you from having fun.
Right.
And that's hard to do, right? But yeah, it's something that we all kind of had to do at some point, is figure out how to have our fun without letting this person, interfere with that. So
yeah,
it's a hard thing to do, but we're all going to encounter a cheater in some form or fashion at some point. And it is more helpful to deal with them in a calm manner than it is to, try to go over the top. And
if you're an Airsoft sniper, or your buddy is an Airsoft sniper,
ask them.
Perfect solution.
Talk to them.
Perfect solution. Be like, hey, this guy's cheating. Could you just give him
dial in on this guy.
Give him a little extra hit. I've had times where I'll be hitting people and they won't call their hit. I like to aim for the thigh if they're not calling it, because most of the time that's going to be a really tender spot to get hit.
Oh yeah.
But not like injure them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not like I'm shooting them in the throat or in the back of the head.
But if you're hitting them in the plate carrier, they can take those hits all day, right?
Right.
If you're hitting them in the mask, they can take those hits all day.
Yeah.
Because they're not actually feeling
I don't want to injure anyone to where it's like, I'm bleeding out of my neck. But like, I will straight up give you a good shot to the thigh.
Yeah. Especially if you're not calling your hit, like,
sometimes just scaring them is a great option. Like
running up and going boogity boogity boogity.
No.
Hey,
do you remember we had those kids a while back that were doing Speedsoft stuff that kept going outside the field boundary?
Mm-hmm.
And so one day I was just like, you know what? I know exactly how to deal with this. And I took my ghillie suit and my sniper and I crawled out to the spot they always go to try to loop around the field and like get outside the boundary.
Mm-hmm.
And I just waited there. And once they thought they were safe, I popped both of them right in the mask. And that, when they're not expecting it so loud, they like both screamed and were like, hit.
Yep.
And then the ref was like, what are
Y'all
you doing over
here? Yeah.
And they were like, oh, we didn't know.
But you did.
We told you about 5 times already.
Yeah.
So you just get creative with it. Don't ever hurt anyone. Don't ever cause a fight on purpose.
There's no need for that.
Be respectful. But like, you don't have to let them walk all over you. You just have to keep the day fun. Keep the mood. Keep everyone in good spirits. Make sure everyone's having fun. And sometimes you just have to take the L.
Yeah.
It's very rare, but every now and then
you do have to take the L. And I don't know. I mean, hey, it's Airsoft, right? What are you going to do? Be a cheater? Like, no, that's no way to live.
Yeah.
If we all do it, then what's the point of even playing Airsoft?
Yeah.
So
I would say if you are someone who doesn't call their hits or breaks rules, I think sometimes what it might be, especially for new players, is they get scared.
Mm-hmm.
Like I fully believe that some kids, when they get out there for the first time, get scared and they feel that hit and they like talk themselves into, no, that one doesn't count. You know what I'm saying? Like I like the way that they act. It's like you hit someone and it bounced off their helmet and they duck down. It's like, I think that kid is probably just like, I don't really want to have to go to respawn, So just talk to them. Just be like, hey man, what was that about? Explain it to them. Look, it's not fun for us if you don't call your hits. It's not fun for anyone if you're just gonna
like imagine
God mode.
Imagine if and this is literally the thing is I don't understand how people, and I understand how a
child,
a cheater, I guess,
a cheater,
views this. But if I'm shooting someone and they're not calling their hits, that's incredibly frustrating. Why would I want to do that to someone else? If my goal is to make sure that everyone's having fun,
right,
which as an airsofter it should be, then why would I want to give someone the experience of I'm hitting you and you're not calling it? Yeah. That's the whole point of airsoft.
Yeah. It's tough, man.
So, yeah. Yeah, just don't let them ruin your day.
Yeah.
So,
it's not super common that you encounter a real cheater. 90% of the time, if you tell the person, hey, by the way, I hate you, they're going to be chill. Again, you will sometimes encounter those people, but for the most part, you're like, if someone were to come up to me and be like, hey, by the way, I hate you. Now, the thing is, I don't wear full plates. No. I wear chest rigs and pretty lightweight stuff so I can feel it. But like, if someone came up to me and was like, hey, I hit you on your vest, I'd be like, oh, my bad, I didn't feel it. But if they're like, I just shot you in the face, I'd be like, you didn't know, right? Because like, I would have definitely known that I got hit in the face.
Yeah.
So, you know, you just got to be patient. Just be patient.
Just be patient. Do you have anything else to add to that?
No, I feel like that's it. I feel like that's everything we got for you guys.
Well, yeah. Well, thank you all for watching. Make sure to check back with us here every Friday to get more episodes of the Port City Podcast. Check us out on social media and at our merch store. Both of those are linked in the description down below. Mm-hmm. Also, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. But most importantly,
go play Airsoft.
There you go. All right, let's get the heck up out of here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm tired.